Those words were music to my ear. Double kill, triple kill, ultra kill, rampage, monster kill, godlike, beyond godlike. Now there would be very few people over here who would be understanding the language that I'm talking about. It's very common language in a game which is called Dota, a defense of the ancients. Toastmaster of the evening. Where is he? Yes. Okay, Toastmaster of the evening, fellow Toastmasters. Assalamu alaikum. Good afternoon. So I think I spent a few thousand hours on this game during my university, for sure, definitely. Even though I don't look, I was one of the backbenchers. I took a part in a lot of politics, but this was one thing which I did focus my geekiness on during university. And I started this game by chance only. I just want to explain the concept. It's very simple. There are two teams. It's an esports game. It could be a 5 versus 5 game, it could be a 2 versus 5, 1 versus 1, whatever kind of combinations. One team tries to destroy the main structure of the other team, and whoever destroys it first, he wins. They win the game, as simple as that. The shortest game that I've played is 30 minutes. The longest game I've played is almost 95, 98 minutes. So that's why I'm saying I've spent a few thousand years on this. Few thousand hours on this. Now, what happened is, the first time I played this game, it was purely by chance. I was sitting in the hostel and they suddenly came and said, we're short a player, why don't you help us out? I said, okay, but I don't know how to play this game whatsoever. And then they got me addicted. I sat on a computer and I was playing randomly. I had someone senior sitting next to me and he helped me cheat a bit. He guided me a bit on, how exactly you play this game. And I did quite well. Actually, at a very crucial conjecture of the game, I got a triple kill. And, that really changed the scope of the game altogether. And suddenly I became the prodigal son of the Dark Lord who would, bring the championship to IBA Boys Hostel. And that was what I was supposed to do. I started playing the game a bit more. I started practicing it a bit more, but I had one hero. I kept on playing, him again and again and again and practicing. So there was an external tournament and we went to the external tournament. And the first game we played, I did my signature move and voila! First blood! So nice, it seemed so nice. And then I did it again and things didn't happen the way it was supposed to happen. These guys just understood my one trick and it was a massacre. It was a massacre. Our heads hung in shame. We went back to the hostel, back to the drawing board. And the problem with most of us, especially the people in my group, is we have very sensitive egos, so we said, no, we have to do something about it. I basically tried and talked to different players about the game, how it works and so on and so forth. But there was only one person who actually made kind of sense. He was very old school, very traditional. He talked about using words which nobody was using. He talked about, AS Roma instead of Manchester United. So he was one of those old school people. And he told me that the only thing you need to focus on is basics. The really boring stuff that you keep on doing over and over again, that's what you really need to practice. Whoever does that better wins the game. It's a conceptual game, it's a very strategic game. So you would have, and it's a team game, it's not about individuals, it's not about flashiness, it's not about beyond godlike, even though it sounded nice. But you need to focus on the small things, that's the most important part. He explained that the game consisted of different roles. You had someone for the late game, you had someone for a middle game, you had someone as a harasser. It sounds wrong, but that's the word we used to use. And for the early game, for the middle game, so on and so forth. And I kept on focusing on the basics. Saw a lot of videos on this, read about it, and was really practiced a lot on this game. And then the next year came, we went into the tournament again. One thing that I had focused on was that, play more, as many heroes as possible. even if you have a few favorites, so you know you can always do something surprising for your opponents. So the first game started, and I was a late caddy in that, and it was amazing. I was beyond godlike in that game. 21 kills, 3 deaths, and it was amazing, absolutely amazing. Next game, I decided to change my role, and now I was more in a support role. Tournament, we went up to the quarterfinals, we won the first game, we lost the other 2 games, but within a span of 1 year, it was quite a remarkable turnaround for us in that specific game. Now, the person who I really learned this from, who was talking about basics, the really non-flashy guy, I just learned one thing from him during this whole process. He used to talk about the simple basic things. My statistics were far better than his statistics from any count, whatever, but he used to talk about things very logically. And this is something that, you know, we can learn on different aspects of our life. You can always think that you are better than someone else, but there's always something that you can learn from an individual. And a lot of things have to do with doing the same. It's not really about talent, it's more about grit. It's about doing the same small, boring things consistently, and consistently. And that is what mentorship is all about. It's not about, you know, telling someone to do exactly like this, a plan of sort. It's more about telling people about concepts. It's more about gauging their interest. And in any path of life, if you find someone who might be statistically worse off than you, but if they have something good to say, it's always good to listen, and you can go on a rampage in anything in life. Back to you, sir.